Alright, and hello. Hopefully this is gonna work. Uh, so we're just gonna go do some demo reviewing here. Hopefully it will end up good. Let's get on you. Here we are. Alright, let's get on the pistol round. So you see you're going long, the armor buy, pretty standard. One teammate saving, that's a bit awkward. Alright. I already see some stuff to analyze because I think that was pretty, I'm gonna say, either miscommunicated or I would just say unintelligent play by you guys. So here's how you kind of want to play long when you have two people devoted to it, which is a smart idea. You want two people devoted to long. So let's talk about it. I'm just gonna say you're the guy who's gonna be the dedicated long player. I have no idea if that was the case, but let's say you are, right? So what you want to do generally when you have two people long, right? The callouts were pretty good that game. Thank you for letting me know. So you want one of these guys posted corner, and so you can blame me for doing dumb stuff. All right, I have to, keep myself censored, dude. So let's say this little guy here is you, and you want to get into pit, and you want your teammate basically to watch long doors for an immediate rush, like the T's are doing now. And you kind of just want to not even like look long doors, really. You just knife out, run to pit as fast as you can. This is like, especially if you have a good spawn, this is what you want to do. And your teammate you basically run backwards to play anti-flash, and your teammate runs like looking at it to play if they rush out. Which isn't what they did. They did throw a flash and then run out. So what you would do optimally is like you're turned back, the flash doesn't hit you. You kind of, maybe you're here by the time the flash hits because you're running with your knife out. And you kind of peek, and maybe you can get here and start like playing the headshot angle, like kind of peeking back and forth. And once your teammate's unflashed, you buy enough time by peeking back and forth that you can try to hold this two people. But in your defense, maybe in that situation, like all 5 of them are out here and you kind of just get destroyed. Let's see how the rest of the round plays out, because that's a lot of kind of talking for like the first less than 20 seconds. So you just kind of leave it, which in what you did, I think is the smarter decision. Because, let's be real, you both got to the corner, you got flashed. Probably shouldn't try to re-peek it, so yeah, just leave. I'd prefer actually kind of if you... I don't want to bait your teammate per se, but like just kind of go CT, and both of you guys go CT, and wait for your teammates to kind of go and deal with this threat together. But your teammate gets a pick. Yeah, and he dies, you just hide CT. Just hide CT, and this is like fine. I wouldn't even re-peek it, yeah. Yeah, definitely don't re-peek it, actually. I didn't look at the map. You're the only dude on A right now, so you kind of just have to hold the elevator and just wait for your teammates. This dude should not be rotating through T-spawn. I think I talked about that last video with you. This guy definitely should not, because you're the only guy in A. Speed is the priority here, especially if like you saw all of them or at least bomb. This guy should try to go fast. This guy's the right idea. I'd say this guy should go CT, because again, speed is all that really matters here. And what you need to do, I would have hit elevator. I just think you need to hide elevator. And these bullet shots are showing up, which I'm going to turn off. Sorry for that. There you go. I turned it off, I think. You jumping around is not smart. You know, you're not Kelly or Kukli or whatever. And you should optimally, yeah, wait for your teammates here, which you do. You do get that nice little shot, but let's not attribute that to skill. And you guys handled the retake pretty well. I'd say what you would want to do is kind of play a bit more passive when it's just you left, and hide elevator, or in your case, because you were kind of bullied out of elevator. I would have done it immediately, and then you wouldn't be bullied, but you weren't doing it immediately, so you just hid back into CT, which is fine, and wait for your teammates to do the retake together, and optimally one of the dudes saving would get a kit, and you know, you would have a lot more time, a lot less stress to work with. But you handled the round pretty well. You get one lucky kill, one, you know, good kill, maybe from re-peeking too much. So we have a pretty decent job. So pistol round, obviously want to secure that. Let's see where you play after this, because that's a big one. Long is one of the ones that I really would actually tell you is something you kind of have to do off your spawn. If you have a good spawn, you should play long, and that's how I see it, at least. So you're okay. You're one of the devoted long players, I think. I can tell, and you're playing it a bit more aggro, which I can appreciate it. Okay, so again, I like this play. I actually really do. I'm being genuine when I say that. What I would prefer you to do is use an incendiary over your HE grenade, but you didn't buy one. And why you would use an incendiary generally is just because it buys you so much more time in the way that HE doesn't. The HE might scare like one guy off, but it's not going to scare off an entire team. An incendiary is either going to split the team up and make some rush in, and then it's a lot easier to kill them, or it's going to hold them off for enough time for one of you guys to cross the pit, and that's generally your main goal in early round long control, right? If you can imagine a game split into stages a la StarCraft 2, for example, where you have an early game, mid game, and late game. The early for a round, right? The early round would be you trying to get into pit. That's your goal. Then mid round, maybe get a pick by pushing, and then late round, either retake or wipe out the team. But let's see. I like this push. You kind of know it's an eco. Don't go with your knife out. Pistol out's a lot better. I actually wouldn't even go with your knife out here, unless your teammates have called all three there, which is totally possible, considering you said calls were good, so this is fine. Letting them plant's always a tough pill to swallow, but it's a lot better than just going in one by one, trying to hero prevent it, and then dying to this guy with Kevlar, which you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't even get Kevlar. And yeah, you should probably be pushing in here, because your most long-range proficient gun is your USPS, and you do push in, kind of. It works out. By distracting that guy, your teammate can get the kill. Props. Get the FAMAS. Nice, nice. Now, let's say your teammates approach the upcoming... You have a bot, that's a shame. Upcoming full buy, right? This guy gets the M4. I think he's smart here. You drop a FAMAS. I love that play. That, like, it's not that hard to make, but it's something that you should be doing. You definitely should be dropping your FAMAS. You should get the M4. And, yeah, I mean, that's an okay buy. I would prefer... Let's see. Yeah, okay. I like this, because you realize that you were kind of delayed in spawn to buy an M4, and you didn't have a good spawn either. You don't rush it into long. This is maybe where, because I obviously don't know if they're going mid or long, but this is like one of those plays where hindsight you might say, oh, I should have pushed long, because it could be possible they're going for a slow long control where they take long in the quote-unquote mid-game. However, you made the right play. You shouldn't be pushing in when you have, like, when you're super delayed in spawn, because you can give yourself up as an easy pick, especially if you're the only one. I'll know where your first in pistol round you had 2 people long. I'll know where that is now. And I even like this to an extent. I don't know if this is the bot here, but pushing down Cat is kind of a good way of holding down one part of A, and if the T's take the other part, you go for the retake. Nice. Yeah, nice. Nice. You trade your teammate very well, and then you don't go for anything else. I wouldn't even peek after this flash because you're so low. You got one of them blind, and you got a lot of info, and you're really lucky you survived. That's all I'm going to say there. And now you should yeah, kind of be bait for your teammate because you have so little HP. Your teammate kind of is bait. And now you have the bomb down, so I think, and you know, like, the last guy's T-spawn, so I think it's acceptable to kind of stay pushed up here, like this. And you knew the last guy is a scout, so playing close range when he has the scout's going to be even harder. Just a minor thing here. You didn't know where he was. I don't know if you heard that, but when you drop a gun, I wouldn't have dropped in that scenario just because I know the AK is 100% better than the M4. Just, he might have heard it, and when you have so little HP, it's probably just more beneficial to stay unknown than have a gun that's better when it's M4 AK. And then pick up the AK when the round's over. I'm throwing a flashback. Teammate flashes in. Unless that was him. You hear him. He whiffs there. That was actually, I'm gonna be honest, that was a bad setup by you guys. The Mexi dude, I like where you were, don't get me wrong. The Mexi dude should have been, like, right behind you, because you had so little HP. If he just, like, got one hit on those pistols, that's a one-on-one, essentially. He could get the bomb. He already had the bomb. He could have just ran long, made it a 1v1 post-plant. It gets a lot more awkward. If Mexi was right behind you, you guys get that trade easy, but you get the kill, you kind of make the quote-unquote hero play, so good job there. Get a Molotov. I'd like to see the Molly buy as your nade, because you're playing long, so I'm going to be a bit more, strict on that nade. Yeah, get Molotovs here, man. Because you're playing long, and you had a good spawn there, so you kind of, what you want to do is kind of, if you're soloing it, just kind of run up and throw the Molly as fast as you can, which you are. Doesn't matter, because they go in B. The nade's a bit delayed, but you saw no one out, so it's not like that's the worst thing in the world. And here they're going to be calling that they're out B. Maybe he sees bomb now, and you're going to have to go for a retake. Your teammate should, yeah, that's what he should be doing. Just kind of holding the cross. That's unlucky. He should hold the cross and kind of just wait for everyone to get together and retake. But yeah, these guys kind of manhandle it. I don't know how you're doing it. One of your teammates should be sticking the defuse, and the other, yeah, probably should just be trying to hold off tunnels. Didn't matter because he got nade killed, but I'm gonna be real here. If you're gonna be playing like this, what you want to be doing is you want to have one guy with the kits, which you all had, sticking the defuse, like just sticking it, and you kind of just like two guys, or you just hold off the guy, make sure if he pushes he dies, and your teammate can defuse safely. And I saw your Steam message, I'm just not responding on it for video. But if for whatever reason you hear this first before whatever other FPS games, there's Overwatch, there's Quake, let's see how you play long, you have a pretty bad spawn, you don't have a molly, and it looks like they're heading either over to A or towards long, and one of these dudes is heading towards long pretty fast. Let's see how you handle it. So you throw that nade out and you see him. I like it. I like it. Re-peeking there is kind of just a death wish because they saw you and they're going to be trained like all eyes on it. So you just kind of fall back, you get the info, oh I saw at least one long, and if no one else sees anything, which these CTs are probably not going to see anyone else because there's no one else to see there, you can probably make that call that, okay, they're probably pushing long. If they don't make it obvious enough by how they push long, like for example, they're probably going to pick it out. You go for those steady taps. I'd spray there, just because I'm bad, like you made the right decision. That sounded like advice. It's definitely you should like go for taps or burst there. Your teammate shouldn't be peeking because he knows you're low, or you called you're low. That's a useless flash, actually. Just a minor thing. If you want to flash long from here, flash over the roof. That's actually how you flash it, and like that works. Pretty sure about that. You don't. No. Jumping into CT is a mistake because CT is just such a bad position. CT is just such a much worse position than on site to retake. Well, quote unquote retake long from, because site. You have the two hiding spots from long. You could hide where you were hiding before, like behind the boxes. No better way for me to put it, really. Or ninja, which is another way you can hide in it. And your teammates can come up cat, which you have two people who are going to come up cat. But maybe you could boost the guy with high HP over to site, because site's a lot better than long. CT you can get locked out with a single smoke, and you kind of have to try and push the smoke at ramp. Which, you know, don't get me wrong, pushing a CT smoke when they're crossing to ramp, like, works pretty much all the time for at least one kill, and you have the man advantage, so a trade is fine. Anyway, I'm elaborating. This flash, I've seen it done a lot. It's probably going to work. I'll if you throw it. Oh, no? Yeah, you don't. You should boost one of your teammates. I would like to see that. Or maybe you're flashing for him, which is also fine. No, you're not. Yeah, okay, you're boosting. You should boost the high HP guy. Which is, I think, yeah, he has the A1S, so he definitely has higher HP than you. Then you flash long. You kind of get him. You don't spray transfer there just because I know I've done it all the time. It looks really flashy, but it may not work. And they definitely should have killed you. That push was, not smart, I don't think. I think your teammate should have tried to spot for info, and maybe you could have jiggle peeked, but full pushing for info there is just so risky because you risk putting yourself at what would be a 3-on-3, because let's say one of the guys, you have like one bullet's worth of health, the guy you kill gets you instead, and then your teammate don't trade properly, which could happen, then it's a pretty 3-on-3 with them having the bomb, admittedly when your teammates has the link. I wouldn't even be pushing long if I was this guy, which he seems to make it work pretty well. So, you know, sounds weird, but you generally, in that situation, you just want to make sure they can't rotate. Well, if they have bomb down, maybe not, but you generally just want to make sure they can't leave, play it more safe. But that applies more to when you have man advantage, which is another way you kind of hurt your team. You gave them less flexibility. Alright. Yeah, I don't like this, because you're throwing the nade long. Okay, you're not. That was like, I thought you were going to throw the nade long this round. But if you're going to throw a nade long, it should be an incendiary, because that's just buys you so much more time to play long, like closer, in a better position than just the corner. So that's just something that I would tell you to do. If you're playing long a lot, use the incendiary grenade, it's your friend. Yeah, smart. You realize this dude's probably going to leave. You shouldn't run with your knife out, because you know they're in tunnels. Even mid's risky because they could have ran out of lower tunnels, so you kind of have a habit of running with your knife out a bit more than you should, which I've seen a lot of people do. Holding it, smart. Don't get greedy and try to push when you already have the 3-on-2. And just make sure the guy can't leave if he was called to be in tunnels. Then your teammate wipes him as this guy tries to flank you. So you're gonna be... Again, I'd really like to see an incendiary. I think you didn't use a nade, so you couldn't rebuy an incendiary, but I would like to see it. They're hitting B again. Oh, I mean, I don't like this setup, I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, I really don't like this setup. I'm just gonna take a minute to talk why I don't like this setup from the T's. Not that it's like your mistake, but you do play T side, so don't try to make this mistake. Let's discuss what they're doing, right? I'm gonna run down maybe like 2 situations they had in their head. So this guy could be watching mid. That was a really not straight line, but you get the idea. He's watching mid just to see how many people cross, and he might have said, only 2 crossed, and one of them's playing mid, rush B. But these guys, if that's the call, these guys rush B. I don't care about this smoke. If there's a 1B and this guy's fighting the dude mid, you just run to B. There's no... You're just holding up, and it's just putting your entire team into disadvantage. So that's one scenario. This guy called for the rush B, and they get intimidated by a smoke grenade. Which, you know, you shouldn't be doing. Now, the other situation, which is what I'd be more upset at, what I think is the bigger misplay, is that he's like, oh, let's just play for picks. Nothing wrong with playing for picks. That's default. It's how you want to run things T-side most of the time, most of your rounds. The issue is how they're playing for picks. Because this is just an awful way of playing for picks. You're putting 4 people in tunnels, 1 guy mid. Well, what picks are you realistically getting? Well, let's count it down, right? If one of the guys pushes into here, one of the guys pushes into here, well, the guy pushes cat to mid, and this guy pushes mid, and maybe if this guy is lucky timing, if you push long. Okay, that's a lot of picks. You know how you could get that a bit more reliably? You don't put 4 people in tunnels. You maybe put, like, let's say 2. Let's say you put the bomb here. If you're going for an A-side attack, or maybe here if you're going for a B-side attack. The 2 guys' tunnels can kind of play something like this guy's watching from here, and this guy's kind of watching here. So they're close enough to trade. Then you put your other 2 guys, probably, you put, like, you keep your guy mid, that's good, and then you put what I'd consider, like, here. Right outside of long door, so when the CTs push like this, they get killed from here. So just a guy here, a guy here, a guy here, a guy here, and a guy here who's kind of just... And how they all watch it is kind of like he's watching here, right? He's watching if they come out. This guy's kind of just watching the mid and the cat push. This guy is just kind of watching like lower tunnels. He could maybe push up just a bit to watch lower tunnels, and this guy watches upper tunnels. That's how you want to default. You don't default by putting 4 people in tunnels. That's dedicating too much of your team B side, denying you so much of your information mid. Your information mid really comes from this one guy, and maybe if you peek lower, you see a guy cat, and like you get very little information long. And that's why it's not a good default. If you want to rush B, that's fine, but then you actually have to rush it. And they're not rushing B, they're hesitating, they're going back lower. You're lucky. You're kind of like pre-firing. I can appreciate that. I think you should be jiggle peeking more. If we talk about that, you didn't die because you didn't jiggle peek, don't get me wrong there. But if you kind of jiggle peeked more, maybe when he was posted, you could bait out more shots, maybe get a kill, maybe make him like leave earlier, instead of just kind of wide peeking all the time. And there you just kind of die because you peek unfortunate timing. I'm going to move into one of your other teammates. Let's see how the T's handle this. So they gotta pick Cat because they focus here. This guy whiffs, that's his kill for sure. This guy is B. And you're dude with a Nova. Nova full utility. What kind of meme world am I in when you have a Nova and full utility? 'Cause, you know, just cut out. Okay, let's cut out all of this. Let's just keep 1 smoke. So this is $700. So you have $2,000 if you subtract the Nova and these 3 nades, the double flash and HE. You can get like a well, you could get a UMP for the cost of Nova. You could get MP7. You can get a Galil. You could get Tech 9s are better than Novas. This is a mistake buy, I think. And he kind of dies, but, you know, it's fine. He was kind of the playmaker there in that he had to bait for the guy mid, so he can just kind of get distracted. and get flanked. So let's see how you handle this. Let's look at your economy here. I don't like Shots buying the MP9 when he has money for a lot more. Mexi, okay, I think this is kind of your bad. I think it's kind of your responsibility here to drop at least like one M4. And don't go for that full buy. Let's talk about it. Oh god, I made the same mistake again. Alright. We're just gonna go. Sorry, this is taking a bit of a while. Jesus, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay. Bam, I think we're back to good. Sorry. Okay, let's talk about the economy, right? Okay. So, what you should be doing, I wish I could go to pre-round, right? But you had like 7k, 7.6k, and this guy, he bought, what, Deagle? Why is he getting the full head armor and the full utility? Sacrifice some utility, sacrifice your kit, sacrifice your head armor, get an SMG. I don't like these economical decisions that much, but you probably should have dropped like 1 M4 to this Mexi guy so you could buy that full utility. The amount of head armor is, well, you lost 1 round, so that's understandable. The amount of kits, you don't need 4 kits if you're on a struggling buy. Which you are. You have a Deagle and MP9. MP9 doesn't have a kit, but you're on a struggling buy. You don't need 4 kits in general for when you're just kind of coming off a loss. We're going to skip through this timeout, but this is kind of the situation where you can go and beat them up. Because this is, you can reset them, right? And let's take a look. I like it. I kind of skipped through it, but you're playing anti-flash. You kind of turned around just in case they flashed over, which I don't know in lower ranks, but in high ranks, flashing over is super common. And these guys are calling it to be, and you're kind of making the smart play. You know you have 3-4 people dedicated, well, now 3 people. You had 4 when one guy wasn't dead. Dedicated to the B side of the map. This guy is whiffing. Let's see how you throw that flash. That's a good flash, yeah. That's solid. You should have peeked with it, don't get me wrong. You jump all around the corner to offset how he would be pre-firing. And the issue is you're just so far away, so you really have to make haste, get to your teammate as fast as possible. He wins the round, but you made the smart decision not going for the AWP, which would be a slower weapon. You just try to back up your teammate as quick as you could. Drop. Okay, we're gonna just try to get all the economy we can here. This guy needs a drop, and this guy needs a drop for full buy. You have the money to drop. This is your situation where you really gotta drop here. And you don't, it doesn't look like you're dropping. You aren't dropping. That's a shame. You should drop here. That's something that is kind of your bad. You should be dropped. Oh, you did drop. Okay, just a bit late in the round. No, wait. Nope, you dropped. Okay, cool. This is going to make you really slowed along, which you're going to be. But they're going B every round, so not that it matters. Let's talk about how they're going B. Oops. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. A big one. A big mistake. A huge mistake. Okay. Sorry. This is actually unfortunate. Yeah, that's actually pretty unfortunate. Okay. 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 So, what I like about this is kind of how, yeah, sorry for that whole breakdown, but we're going to get back on it. You know they're going B a lot, so instead of playing long dedicated all the time, you kind of go to cat, and there's, how I play cat is like you put 2 people cat or you put 2 people long and you retake the other part of A if they go the part you weren't watching. And if they're going B all the time, playing cat's a lot better than playing long. You can rotate to lower a lot faster, rotate to even B, kind of at the bit faster, similar speed. So I like this kind of, I don't know if this was like actually you put that into your thought. You're like, oh, they're going B all the time, let me play cat. Or you just want to switch things up, but either way, I like it. But judging from the, well, maybe that's a teammate calls because you're watching lower. And anyway, do I respond to you or do I watch what you're doing? I'm going to pause and respond to you. You brought this on your own self, dude. You brought this on yourself. Okay. I'm gonna try and respond to these in word, but also in text after this, because I don't want to take this to be too long, right? So you nade cat because you know they're mid, and once you follow up with that nade, you kind of start pushing it, which is fine. You know, if you have all those calls that they're at B, um, I don't know what situation this dude's in. Maybe I'm too slow into the demo to find out. Not the moral police, dude. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't, you know, I'm not the moral police. Anyway, after Braziling them 7-1, you get to 8-1 off that pretty smart play of you going cat. You kind of have a quicker rotate and playing along, but also your B players are kind of killing the guys who goes B every round, and now they're going mid or long. Or just closer to A, let's put it that way. And they smoke the corner, and you pre-nade it off that, and you get blind. I think as soon as you see the smoke corner, which you did, I think you throwing the nade is right, and then I think you go long. I think you have to go long there, right? Just like as quick as you can, go long. And, you know, obviously don't just run with your knife out when you're exposed to door, but like kind of your M4s you go long, and then once you're not exposed to door, once you're like far enough cross towards pit that you're not, you know, peek the door, you kind of get your knife out and you just go pit. Because if you go long, pit is kind of how you stop everything. Pit is awful if you're taking long as a T because you have to check it, right? And as you check pit, you're exposed to like the ramp. Let me pull up the map to hopefully this makes more sense. When you're a T and you check pit, you're exposed to here and here, so you can get screwed pretty quick, right? I'm very sorry about your teammates, man. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Well, but the idea is like you get sandwiched as a T when you have to check pit, and not only that about it, if you're peeking here and you can watch here and it's a headshot angle. Sorry, I should probably draw in blue. It's a headshot angle for the T's, and they kind of have a hard time dealing with it, and it's very very easy. Let's say you get one kill, guy dies, bam, you just hide in pit, and these dudes have to chase you, peek into you. Excuse me. They peek into you, and then you can get another kill. That's a 2-for-1, maybe a 3-for-1 if they're really bad at trading. So I think that's where you play pit in that situation. But going to site's better, not better, but a smart decision as well. It's a lot better than just kind of staying in the middle, like just around the corner and dying. But you make that call, you make the call that there could be one out long, hopefully. And you kind of, you know, you're kind of in an awkward spot where I think you should just focus on long. Because you have a dude cat, so you don't really have to worry about cat. And you hear the guy pit. So you already make that call to your teammate. You smoke off car, so he can maybe get tricked around. You might think you're leaving it. Now you hear more than one around long. You kind of pre-fire from the smoke because you know the angle, and you saw it like that's fine. You know where the last guy is. You should probably have the crosser set there, and the pre-fire. That's, yeah, nice job. That's where Peeker's advantage kind of plays in the most when you know someone's in a certain spot and you pre-fire them. Can't really do anything about it, so you kind of get the job there. I'm kind of just responding to you in buy time. Let's see what you get. Hopefully you get him 4. Okay, let's get back in the game though. Okay, that's what. I don't want to like, you know, like I didn't see it 100%, but that flash kind of looked a bit useless. Flash over here, if you can see my cursor, right? You flash from here over here, if that's how you want to flash long. It maybe takes more of a long, no pun intended, time, but that's how you generally want to flash long. I'm going to respond to you too. And we're just going to assume. Aiming, again, crosshair placement, you're aimed like at the bottom of this barrel. You want to aim where the heads would be coming up. The auto comes into play. He's just spamming it down mid. How do you counter an auto other than with an op? You have to flank him, or you have to catch him off guard. Which you don't knife him here, dog. Okay, don't push. Don't push. You have the man advantage, and you don't need to push here. You just need to make sure they don't go long, or if they do go long, you get that info. This is like really tempting. You're like, I really want to push. I really want to get those kills. But if you hear them, you play smart. Maybe once you hear them mid, that's when you could push, and you play that very, very well. I'm not gonna say you played that perfectly, because you didn't get the headshot, you didn't get the nutty wall bangs. But all seriousness, you played that very well. You played that very intelligently. You didn't fall into the trap of just baiting, or not baiting, peeking, and then just dying pretty easily. So you have the auto. Are you going to peek down mid with it? Because I think that's what most people would want you... No. Which is smart. I think you had a bad spawn enough that you probably should be playing Car, or what's called Kerrigan, or the part of Car that's around the fire. You might want to play that part instead.
What's happening?
So you're just kind of holding long with the auto. You know there's a guy there. That's also the biggest counter to the auto. Instant headshots. Pre-fire headshots. When they know an auto's posted somewhere, they just kind of pre-fire and headshot. That was a pretty bad spot, I'm going to be real, to play, just in general, because it's kind of exposed. It's kind of like there's no way you get any cover. Because look here, you can't really hide behind anything if you see a guy. That's why corner is so popular, or even pit. Because if you see a guy, like let's say you're around here, right? And you see a guy, you could just go back into pit. If you see a guy long corner, you could just go back past that wall. And that's why it's so awkward. Oh my god, I made a mistake. That's my bad. Dude, I'm not good at navigating demos, but we're gonna be back into it soon. We're just gonna rewatch this, and we're gonna rewatch this position. Maybe we can elaborate. You're kind of no cover. Not that it matters, because you're just gonna get insta-wrecked, but no cover still. Damn, as soon as he peeks, you get killed. We're gonna move on to the next guy. Let's see how the T's deal with this. Their bomb just got down, and this guy has to kind of be the playmaker here. He has to be a playmaker while simultaneously waiting for his teammate to kind of get up to make a play as well, which he doesn't at all. So now he really has to play make. Oh! Wow, that is sexy. That is really sexy. That was a nice headshot mid. It's a shame he missed the spray transfer. He had 2 little bullets. That's going to cost him. That's going to lose him around. We're going to go back to you. Knife mid, question mark? Don't do it, dude. That's the secret, man. That's like how they get you. You never want a knife mid. And he fell for it, dude. Never trust someone who says they're knifing mid unless you're going to pull out the auto and destroy them, which would be really funny. Okay. I am not even mad. That's a sucky thing to do, but like, if you're offering knife mid, you're not winning anyway. Yeah. They got betrayed. One could make the argument you should be pre-scoped in. Let's move on to this one-on-one, sorry. I'm gonna watch the T. I always find the terror side of a one-on-one to be more interesting. That's just my opinion. And yeah. Excuse me. He has to get bombed, and this is gonna be interesting. How does he choose to play it? Does he try to fake him out and go B, make him think he's going A, but he goes B? The classic "I'm smarter than you" play. Okay, this is also probably the 2 options I would have wanted here is 3 options is try to get a pick mid for a while, go tunnels, or go long. Going mid I think is the worst. He sucks with the shot, and that's kind of when he has to hit there. He's gonna try it again, a bit more scoped in, 1 by 1. The fake flash. It's works on varying levels of success. Oh, he clearly didn't expect it, but he gets the kill. He nails it. What a banger. The CT maybe a bit over pushy. He wants to see if the guy long fell back, which is understandable. Oh, did he fall back? Is he going B? Does he have time to go B? I understand why you do it, but you know, obviously not that it worked out so well. Let's see where you are on the scoreboard. Just a little reality check, and you're doing good. You're doing pretty good. 11-2. Not gonna say you know, it's not some crazy mistakes that are costing your team, you know, rounds, because your team only lost 2 of them. But still, you're doing a pretty good job. I like this again. The 3 people A is something I can always respect. and you put like 2 of them or 1 of them devoted towards cat or mid, you guys kind of peek it a bit more aggressively, and these T's finally can respect what they're doing. Instead of either rushing B or just trying to take cat like 1 by 1 and dying, they're kind of playing for picks, and this Trivago guy gets kind of the MVP star, I'd imagine, for his impact, because he just completely screwed over the CCs. Judging from the way you're playing, let's break that down, right? Because I think that's something worthy of breakdown. Yeah, 2 guys on B. You had a guy mid, I'd imagine. No. I got that wrong. Yeah, 2 guys B. Alright, send it to me later. I'll probably do it tonight, but, yeah. So you had 2 guys B. You had, 2 guys cat, and I think, like, a guy on A side, or maybe a guy somewhere, right? Somewhere on A. I drew that badly. Whatever. This one guy, this one T just pushes tunnels and kills both people on B. And I think this guy starts rotating, he gets killed too. And what does this do to you guys? You can't, like, hold cat or hold even A, which is still difficult if the guy, let's say, like, for whatever reason, there's, like, 2 people pushing along. You don't even get to hold A here. You have to push into mid, take this awful fight, right? It's, like, no denying it's a bad engagement. They're already holding the push, and there's a guy who's pretty close to trade at least one of them, back him up by CT mid. So you're forced in this situation. Why? Because your guys on B die. So you have to make a play, right? And to bring it back on even ground. Man-wise, let alone your guns, are poor as well. Speaking of that, head armor is a no-no, my dude. And I think you know it. Let's get back into resuming this game. So, I think here's where you say, listen, let's just play for exits. Or, like, let's just hold A, right? There's no way we're retaking B with these pistols and or 1 kit that you shouldn't have, honestly, for ecoing. Let's just try to take A, or hold A rather, and we'll watch this guy. He probably is gonna die, but he should try to go for exits here, you know. Oh my god. Okay, excuse me. That was an awful play. Why would you send the auto solo against pistols, moving targets? Why would you peek there? That's 100% they're bad, right? You never peek in that situation. You have the auto. Just be really thankful you even have an auto. And meanwhile, you're in this really crappy situation with a buy. Don't get the head armor. It's the last round of half. You know they're going to have full guns that are going to kill you with that 1 tap to the head. You got a revolver. You're trying to meme on them. So I can respect it. Head armor is a no-no. You'd rather get a smoke. I'd rather get a nade. Any kind that's 300 or even 200. The flashes, the HEs, the smokes, and head armor in this situation. I understand one of them has an auto shotty, so it looks good in hindsight. Especially because he kills you with a headshot. It looks good in hindsight, but there's no actual logistical reason to do it, because very rarely in high-level play are people going to try and meme on you with an auto shotgun. T should just go B, and they are. There's a reason to hunt for a kill here. Just at least get the bomb down. Just get the bomb down B. Thank you. And that's an 11-4 half. That we just saw. Oh, sorry. We're gonna go, okay, why am I, okay. Well, let's get back to you. So you're on T side and you're entering the B push. It seems your team has made the decision. Rush B, respectable. You jump on top of the boxes, which is smart. You kind of make sure you can destroy anybody car who happens to be car by hitting from above. We're vertical aiming, off topic, I know, but nothing's really happening. Vertical aiming is such a pain on in Counter-Strike, so that's a smart idea. Your teammates overextend. This is how you should be playing. You should be playing tunnels and backside's respectable. And I'm lying when I say they overextend. I didn't see how they played it. It's very possible they overextended. They shouldn't be peeking door, shouldn't be even peeking window. Maybe 1 guy for info, but that's about it. Jump spawning it, I'd prefer. They shouldn't, if they were just close and they got destroyed by gunfights, that's not overextending, that's just unfortunate. And they should be winning those gunfights, but that's not actual advice. Both are low here, so your Glock's gonna pay huge dividends if you get some kills. You have to stay moving, you have to make sure you can't get killed, try to stall. You did an okay job. I would have, again, just stayed crouch. Stay crouched behind that box, make them come to you, and then, because they're so low HP, you can kind of destroy them with bursts, and stuff like that. Yep, they're now chill. Dude, that happens in matchmaking. You get like the weirdest stuff, man. You just get such a broad range of people in matchmaking. Can be cancer. You should save. One of your teammates buys, you should buy. And yeah, you're buying too, which is okay. The revolver buy, dude. They want pistol. This comeback's definitely possible. I understand the disrespect, but it's not something I would go with. And yeah, you should be buying if one of your guys buys. Generally though, as a team, you want to save and buy the round after if you get the bomb plant on pistol. And like save, I mean like full save, nothing, maybe P250s, definitely no armor. And here you entry and whiff. Oh my god, that guy's bad. The bomb shouldn't be leading. You have so little ammo on this thing, you can't really spam the way you're doing. Like, like serious revolver tricks. I know that's like a bit of a meme, but like seriously, don't spam with the limited ammo you get from the revolver. The revolver is like one of 5 guns you'll ever run out of ammo with. The other being like the USBS, the A1S. That's like 3. What else would he run ammo with? P250 and CZ. Yeah. Anyway, you have to save here. Buying every round is not how you're gonna win. Don't fall into that trap. Seriously, 11-6 is actually pretty close. If you win a buy round, you kind of set everything up. But there's no actual reason you should be buying. You should be playing a bit more conservatively, a bit less greedy. Whoa, you're really gonna get him with this knife play, dude. I don't like it. It kind of worked, but you're... Oh, you take the bot. Okay. Listen, your teammate's full bot, so you just have to work as bait for your teammates here. You can't really, as unfortunate as it is, you can't really just run with your knife out. It's 11-6, 11-7 if they win it. That's like reasonably close, believe it or not. That's like, especially if they won pistol, which they did, that is getting close. That is a realm of possibility. And maybe... that's unfortunate. It takes like a couple hard losses, but you kind of learn when you lose like these games that you're winning. 11-6, 12-3, 14-4. Once you lose those, you probably treat it with a bit more respect, kind of. Not like you're being disrespectful, but like you're kind of letting probably go of something that you don't need to let go of. Your team making these bad buy decisions. You running with your knife out along. You're making the comeback almost too easy for them. Do you buy here? Yeah, I think you do.
Hold here. This is what we trade for. Affirmative.
And you seem to be going long. Generally, you want to always flash over long because it's a really easy, fast flash, and it does so much damage to the CTs. You want to do it. Your teammate should trade the guy close. Yep, which he does, but that's mostly because the guy close pushed a bit too far. And then he trades... Well, he kind of just gets the pick on the guy who repeaks corner, which repeaking corner is an awful decision. Let's break it down. We're in the mid round here. Let's see how we handle this. We're going to pull up the map. What these guys want to do is they're in a pretty unfortunate spot because the guy with the bomb happened to go tunnels, which isn't his fault. Like, you could say go with the team, but like if you're doing a default, you don't know you're going to get long control this quick. So he's kind of stuck tunnels. If he dies mid, that's predictable, but that's, you know, not even really 100% his bad. That's not a crucial mistake. You know, it's just unfortunate. But I can see him dying mid as he tries to go cat. But let's say he gets up cat correctly. He's not the playmaker here. He's the passive maker, if that makes any sense. These guys long, there's more playmakers on the T side than there are not playmakers, essentially. The guys long, they have to make the play, get the guy on site, so the bomb can cross, plant, and make these guys go on a post plant, and if they're both coming from CT, it should be an easy win. So, what do I think the round depends on in this scenario? I think the biggest key is this guy crossing to cat safely. Then after that, I think it's him not peeking first like an idiot, or this guy pulling a miracle out and holding A against 3 people. Now, I think the keys for them, obviously, get the bomb down, or this guy holds A with a miracle, or this guy peeks too early, and therefore bomb gets down just in a different spot. If any of those things happen, I think the CTs win. If that doesn't happen, I think the Ts win. And I'd give the Ts the slight advantage in this situation. These guys need to trade. No! That wasn't a miracle. That was bad smokes and bad trading. That wasn't a miracle. That was 100% the bad smoke. If they throw good CT smoke, the second guy, I think it is Mexi. If they throw a good CT smoke, Mexi can trade shots and get the guy in A site, let the guy cat cross, get the bomb down, maybe plant it for long platform, and the guy and Mexi can fall back to long. Let's illustrate it. Maybe it's a bit clearer, right? We're gonna draw two people here, one person here, one person here, one person here. How this should happen, instead of the smoke like landing here, this is inaccurate, like the actual smoke, because there's huge vision from here, and that's how he dies. The smoke should land here, which is pretty big, but like that's what should happen. Let's say this guy pushes, he dies. Then this guy should go and trade this guy, take A site control, and the smokes fade away. But that doesn't really matter if the smokes fade away, because he's already on A site, and you are crossing cat, or not you, but post, or Po3T, crosses the site, he gets the bomb down, let's say for long platform. This guy could get a bit greedy, maybe peek CT, but he probably should just try to run to long platform, and just kill diffusers, play post plant correctly. Of course now it's a 1-on-3. So, and he has a UMP, the worst long range gun. He gets a nice little kill, and I could go for the bomb plant. You should probably be planning safe, like behind this box. Not for Cat. Cat is not. I can respect the idea of fake planting, which he does. Ooh, that's close. And he dinked him. You just saw he dinked him. He gets him for. That's very smart. The one issue with that fake plant, I wouldn't have done it just because the UMP is such a crappy long-range weapon, and the guy could have came cat, and if the guy comes cat, I think bar like some headshots on Po3T, I think Po3T is dead. Of course, now I think this favors Po3T because he can get the fake plants. Really played some mind games here. He already dinked him, and it works out the way of Po3T. The round shouldn't have played out like that. The long guys should have nailed their smoke, and it's a lot easier win for the T in that situation, but T still end up taking it. Let's get back on your point of view. Sometimes it feels like I'm doing more analysis for your team or for the enemy team than for you. You're getting a drop. Oh, no, you're just getting Tech 9. Nope, you got a drop too. And you're trying to take some long control again. Taking long control, I think I said this. Maybe it was a different demo, but I think it was this one for sure. Taking long control is something you want to do. Knife out. God, knife out. Knife out. You have to fix that. You should have your gun out. Get some, I'm not going to say crisp taps, but you got some good taps in, some effective taps. You don't take long control, and I think you realize the guy's pushing long a bit too late. But then you can call, well, the guy pushed long, right? They're probably all on A, and if we already are a B and B looks clear, then yep, they probably are all on A. This guy, I think he should leave as soon as he sees someone. As soon as he sees the first person, he should leave. Mistake. You either immediately push, like he was like peeking, making sure it's clear. You either peek once, see it's clear and push, or you don't push and you just peek until you see someone. I think that's the two things you can do. And here he kind of just whiffle waffles, goes in the middle. This might cost him because he's spotted. They're going to run around pre-firing him. He has to win a duel instead of, yeah. So yeah, that costs him. I don't know how that guy died. But now it's up on this dude again, 1-on-3. The bomb's down, but he's going to get surrounded unless they all go 1-on-1. Oh no. That guy pulls a U, man. He runs with his knife out when they know the guy's on site. These guys all go one by one. He peeks window, dies. He peeks door, dies. He peeks tunnels, dies, maybe. Instead of he peeks window and door, two people peek window and door, and they trade him, which is how it should go. And even optimally, they peek window, door, and tunnels. Let's say he miraculously gets the windows and door guy, then the guy tunnels, is a bit closer, can trade a bit faster, but he's gonna win this round, probably, by some demon magic. Yep. Awful plays by the CTs as they've thrown. The last round, it was more this Po3T guy playing it smarter, where he fake planted, drew him out, gets a lucky dink with them UMP. This round they just threw it, plain and simple. But let's get back on you. Oh. I'm gonna say that's lucky because his first bullet accuracy with the AK isn't always gonna land you like that, but that's good. Watching mid, making sure they can't push it, even with an AK, is generally something you should do. I think you should always have a guy watching mid. I would have preferred the Negev to do that, not even joking, because it's just like a laser beam at this point, but you shouldn't really ever buy the Negev. And you have two guys watching long. I don't like this spot for you. I think, yeah, leaving is the right thing to do. Because if you want to watch long, you have to get with your teammate, because if the guy's pushing long, your teammate's either going to get the kill regardless, so you're kind of invalidated at this spot, or he dies and you're not really there to trade him unless you get a shot through the doors, which is like a bit harder. So you should just get with your teammate if you're watching long, or just get mid and like go with the bomb, which the bomb shouldn't be this close. Yep, that might cost you the round, but judging by how short the demo is, it looks like you're going to win these last couple rounds anyway, because these guys make these mistakes. So you notice the guy, you know the guy's back CT, you're holding your AK, you see him cross. Yeah, that's overall I think a decent play. Your guy lower dies, and looks like you don't really have to do anything to win the round there, as your teammates kind of wipe out their kind of, I'll say like quote-unquote post-plant. It's like post-bomb down as they're holding where the bomb is. The teammates kind of just wreck them as they're trying to hold their spots with their limited buy, which is pistols. Here they're buying, again, CTs, these economic decisions, they really only need one kit when you're on this tight a full buy. And they definitely don't need any helmets. They really should just be, if like you added 300 to everybody's buys, the scout could get like, he actually can't get floss, he could get, you know, you could, excuse me, get better utility. You're playing a more passive role, which is good. You kind of realize that it's an eco, that you have to play passive, that, you know, well, your guys longs just kind of bum rushed them and won, but you could have, you know, I think holding the B push, holding the mid push was the smart thing to do. That smoke was really bad. Whoever threw it, it wasn't you though. And you're kind of making your advance up on A. No smoke for, you should have smoked the cross. I know you guys are winning pretty heavy-handedly, I think is the right way to say it. But you should have smoked CT anyway. Just minimize your risk and you can smoke CT and plan a lot easier. And you end up getting that kill long as the guy just kind of peeks into multiple people. You can trade him. He can't win a 1-on-2 at the same time. You should probably, well, nah, I don't know. I would have preferred to see you drop. I don't know where shots money's at, but you have so much money it doesn't even hurt. I think you should buy an op. Because you already have full utility, right? Just buy an op and watch mid a bit more, right? That's not gonna hurt as long as you throw the op out. But if you want to go quick, which it looks like you're trying to go quick long, maybe, yeah, maybe no op-in is the right decision. You're going quick off long. That flash is a bit risky. You run with your back out. Let's say they don't get blind, right? Let's say the CT's here and he doesn't get blind because of that blue thing, and then he peeks after your flash while you're running with your back out. That can end up kind of unfortunate. I do know that if you run out with that flash, you get blinded too. Like I've used it, but come on, like don't run with your back out. I've heard you're gonna try and go for a meme knife because that's the way you are. So I can't wait to see that work out perfectly. Your teammate gets a wallbang kill here, you got A control, and now I'm assuming this is where you kind of run. Definitely smoke the cross, yeah. No, plant. Dog. Get the plant and then knife, dude. There's some priority listing you have to go for here. There's some prioritizing you have to do. You have to go for the plant and then you go for the knife, which obviously didn't necessarily turn out correctly. Let's watch how this T plays it out. I'm assuming the chat's like, why would you go for the knife there, you idiot? He's kind of opping, he's kind of watching it. If he has a P250, so I think it makes sense because he can use a good close range gun. Which he's gonna do right now. He got about lucky with that dink, dude. That was a really lucky dink. If he lost that round, I would have been upset. Good game. Nice plays. Some mistakes here and there. I thought the way he played long was kind of less than adequate. I think you could have mollied it more. I think the way the T's play was kind of, well, the T's in the first half, you know, your opponent's play is kind of disgusting. A lot of bad economic decisions being made. Overall, pretty good game. Good luck in your future games. Good, and have a good night. Or good morning whenever you see this.